I was diagnosed with Turner syndrome when I was 12 weeks pregnant, and by far it easily affected the rest of my pregnancy going forward. I talk about this story a lot because every time I talk about it, I get people in my DMs saying that they are going through something similar, and I just feel like it is a way for me to help other people. I went in for my 12-week anatomy scan because my husband and I wanted to find out the gender of our baby, which truly, the point of that appointment is not actually to find out the gender. It truly is to have an anatomy scan and like a way to like genetically test the baby. Obviously, a lot of people use it to find out the gender and do like an early gender reveal, which is exactly what we did. But when I was at that appointment, they were doing an ultrasound and they started to realize that her neck was measuring a little bit wider than what is considered like within limits or what is quote unquote normal. That it raised concerns. They ended up sitting me down at that appointment and saying that there's a high risk or a possibility that she would end up having Down syndrome. I know that they had really good intentions with forewarning me about that. They wanted me to have a heads up before they actually ended up getting the official results back. And while that wouldn't have changed anything for us, we still would have done things the same either way. I just wish that they would have either asked for me to have my husband come in with me when they told me the news or something like that. Instead, when the results came back, they ended up calling me and telling me within the first couple seconds of me being on the phone that my daughter had Turner syndrome. At the time when I got that phone call, I had no idea what Turner syndrome was. I remember learning about it in anatomy class, but honestly, I don't remember a single thing from anatomy class because I don't use it anymore. I was going to school to be a dental hygienist or a nurse. I just didn't know at the time. Now I am neither. So I never used that anatomy class and I could not remember what Turner syndrome was or what it meant. The only thing that I did remember was that it was only in girls. It was not something that was in boys. So right then and there, I found out the gender of our baby. Shout out to Rare Beauty for resending me PR because if you know, you know, somebody broke into my previous Rare Beauty PR packet, stole a bunch of the products, so they restocked me. I am like so thankful. Anyways, I remember being so upset on that phone call that I even knew the gender of our baby because we wanted to do some big reveal. My family was flying out for it and then it was kind of ruined, that whole reveal. Plus, I was feeling so many emotions. I obviously wanted to talk to my mom and my grandma about it and kind of like just talk out my thoughts and my feelings with somebody else on the diagnosis. The whole party and gender reveal that we were gonna do was ruined because that's who we had coming out for it was my mom, my grandma, Joey's parents. Since everybody already knew what the gender was, it felt a little bit silly doing the whole like golf ball gender reveal. I can always go more into detail about my pregnancy and all of the appointments and everything that ended up happening, but ultimately I ended up being a high risk pregnancy for the remainder of my pregnancy. OB switched me over to the Children's Hospital and that is where I went for every single doctor appointment. And I remember going nearly every single week for a doctor